Good morning and welcome to the Daily Wrap from Pepperstone on Tuesday the 4th of July 2017. I'm Darren Sinden. So let's take a look at the overnight changes, any price moves that we need to be aware of. It was an early close in New York yesterday for many markets ahead of the 4th of July holiday today in the States. But we did see the dollar make some gains. You can see here dollar index putting on 0.6% over the day. And I've highlighted three changes that stood out. Cable here losing 0.7%, slipping back to 129.40. Dollar yen, the yen weakening further to 113.38. And the rand finally breaking above 13. Closing at just over 13.20 against the dollar, a 1% loss on the day there. But my suspicion there is there was probably a bit of book squaring and profit taking ahead of the actual holiday in the States today. So what's on the calendar? What events do we need to be aware of? Events that may move the market? Right, well, let's get going and have a look at what's on the calendar. It's a pretty thin calendar with the US close, but there's still a fair bit to get our teeth into. First of all, Reserve Bank of Australia interest rate decision, we've had that already. There was no change. Rates held steady at 1.5%. Later on this morning, 8:30 GMT or 9:30 UK time, we've got PMI construction data. That'll say something about the pace of growth or otherwise in a key sector in the UK economy. Then half an hour after that, we have producer price index information for May from the Eurozone. Producer price index, of course, is factory gate inflation, so that will be of interest to everyone watching the euro and the euro dollar rate. Speaking of inflation, we'll hear from the Bank of England as they publish or speak rather in public about the inflation in the UK. And then we've got two members of the ECB Council speaking. First of all, Mr. Preye, I hope I've pronounced that correctly, speaking at 12:30 GMT or 1:30 London time. And then to round off the day, Mr. Nowotny speaking at 16:30 GMT or 5:30 London time. So let's move on to take a look at breaking news. Any comment that's caught my eye overnight? First of all, as we just saw, the US dollar has bounced from its lows to make a positive start to the new quarter. So maybe that's an omen for the next 6 months. A data glitch has caused a mysterious price convergence among Nasdaq stocks. Luckily, however, markets were mostly closed for the closed early, I should say, for the 4th of July holiday, so no harm done there. North Korea conducted a ballistic missile test. That's its 17th of the year, and that was ahead of the G20 summit in Hamburg this weekend. Bit of saber rattling there to keep themselves on the agenda, no doubt. And in the Middle East, Qatar has responded to the Gulf state demands via a letter from the Emir of Qatar. Blockading ministers will meet in Egypt on Wednesday to discuss the response. What it said in the letter was not made public, however. Okay, well, we said that dollar index and the dollar as a whole had made a positive start to the second half of the year or quarter three, and we can see that here, this bold green candle. Obviously, plenty of ground for it to make up, so that'll be something that I'm sure we'll be watching closely over the coming weeks. Food for thought, something for you to take away into the trading day, and probably in this case to think about longer term as well. And the question is this: could Ethiopia become the new low-cost home for global manufacturing? The FT does a feature on this today. That's certainly the Ethiopian government's hope, but as the FT points out, it faces plenty of challenges as one of the world's poorest nations. So if you get a chance to have a look at that article, please do. Right, just time to say, please take a look at the risk warning. Trading CFDs and FX on margin is a dangerous business, or can be a risky business, I should say, if you don't know what you're doing. If you're unsure of the risks involved, then please do contact your Pepperstone account executive, and they'll provide you with all the necessary information. Thank you for joining us. Have a great day, and we look forward to speaking to you tomorrow.